Hello. So today we're going to talk about figures of speech. So what are figures of speech? Figures of speech, figuras de linguagem. So language that uses figures of speech is known collectively as figurative language, linguagem figurada. Over here we have the first example of a figure of speech, which is alliteration. So alliteration, the repetition of an initial consonant sound in words that are in close proximity to each other. So in close proximity. So by close proximity, I mean words that can be, but don't have to be, consecutive, following one another. For example, here we have Taco Tuesday, which is a famous slogan from a food chain in the USA called Taco Bell. Another example here, just a regular example from everyday language. We went whale watching. So WW, four W's here. And some brand names. If you have ever been to the USA, you have heard or seen Best Buy, yes. PayPal is now in Brazil. Coca-Cola and Bed Bath and Beyond. So all examples of alliteration. Uh, a part of a Taylor Swift song and Baby Now We've Got Bad Blood. Also alliteration and tongue twisters. Yeah, so tongue twisters, phrases that can be tricky to pronounce. She sells seashells by the seashore. And a part of a speech from John F. Kennedy, US former president, who was assassinated, to those in the huts and villages of half the globe struggle to break the bonds of mass misery. We pledge our best efforts to help themselves. So this was the first alliteration. Today we're gonna talk about five, I believe. Five or six, including alliteration. Next one, antithesis. So, opposite ideas parallel to each other. The idea of this figure of speech is to set opposites next to each other using the same terms or structure. And what's the benefit of this figure? Why would you use antithesis? To make a difference um, in your point, to make it more persuasive, to highlight differences. So, an example is the opening line of Charles Dickens, the author of A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. So here we have best, we have worst. Yeah, which are contrasting qualities and a parallel structure. It was, it was. So think heroes, villains, heroes and villains, hot and cold, bitter and sweet, opposites. So continuing, apostrophe. Apostrophe has nothing to do with these. Okay, so in a figure of speech, the apostrophe is when a character, so someone, addresses someone or something that isn't present or cannot respond. The character might speak to someone deceased, someone dead, an inanimate object, or a concept. For example, here, "Oh, beautiful moon, how you light up the night sky." So the character is addressing the moon. "Oh, to be in England now that April's there." So April is figuratively there. "Hello, old friend, the sea. How long has it been since we last met?" So the sea is being addressed to. "Oh, coffee, how you save my mornings." "Come on, Wi-Fi, don't fail me now." "Rain, rain, go away. Come again another day." Circumlocution. So this is a tricky word, however, it's not complicated. It's a way of writing or saying something using more words than are necessary. So you're going to ask me, why would I use more words than necessary? Yeah. Uh, it can add a touch of formality, politeness, or humor to your speech. It's the same as writing around a word, phrase, or topic. So encher a linguiça, but in a nice way, as it shows that you dominate the language. So for example, when asking for something indirectly, instead of saying, "Can I borrow your pen?" you can say, "Would it be possible for you to let me use the writing instrument you have for a short while?" So an example of circumlocution. Instead of saying he's very short, he's not endowed with an abundance of verticality. So if you want to be polite, yeah, this is a good example. Avoiding a direct statement. Instead of saying "it's raining," someone might say, "There are currently atmospheric conditions that are causing precipitation to fall from the sky." In epigram now. So it's a short saying that expresses an idea in a memorable way. So it is brief, clever, and a little snarky, sarcastic. And it's usually in between quotes. "I can resist everything except temptation." Um, "Three may keep a secret if two of them are dead." So this is quite clever. So over here we have simile. Simile. So the simile compares two dissimilar things using like or as to give the reader or the speaker a more vivid understanding of something. So similes are like metaphors, but metaphors aren't the same as similes, right? We're going to talk about metaphors soon. So it's basically a simple comparison, how to identify like or as. For example, "I know that definition like the back of my hand. Those two are as different as night and day." So two examples here of similes.